Hey everybody, ROTL UK, Matt and Ash at the other side. How you doing, man?
Doing good. A bit tired because it was yet another game day, so I ran around in the field like an idiot for a couple of hours. But it's been a good overall day. Coming back from that, watching say good day. Watching a bit of the cricket, getting sad at that. Watching the F1, being a bit happy with that, and now hopefully ending the day on the high with a quiz.
As Ash mentions, we are doing a quiz. This is going to be fairly short, mainly because that's actually quite intensive to do a lot of the questions and make the slides work and stuff like that. So we'll see how this works. This is basically a trial run for us, and we'll see what we have to do for the rest of this. So if it doesn't go as smoothly as possible, apologies first of all. So how this is going to work, and I'm going to try and draw this out to let people kind of come in and sign up for it and whatever. So to make it fun and make it a little bit interesting, because, you know, it's always more interesting when there's money on the line, £10 or $10 gift card for the NFL shop of your choice. As long as we can buy one for there, I'll make it happen. In order to do that, you are going to need to actually register your details on the website that you enter on. So the winner will get that, and then we're going to, hopefully, if this is successful, and I'll just say if we only run one, it's not going to happen. But if we do run multiple quizzes, then the overall winner of the entire lot, if we add up all the scores together, will win one of the new Detroit Lions jerseys of their choice. So not anything of the super special, really expensive, but Mitchell and Ness ones or anything like that. Bog standard, normal Lions jersey, custom name and number, as long as it's not like 30 digits or whatever, which really costs some money. You know, like just a standard Lions player's name, all that sort of stuff. We'll send that out to you guys. I anticipate kind of doing this every 2 weeks or so, and then maybe doing 4 of them in total. If it goes really well, maybe we do it weekly for a little bit or something like that. But we'll take this all the way until kind of pre-season starts. So it'll be a slow burn. It does mean if you can't make one, that isn't going to be the end of you necessarily getting the jersey. So keep joining in as much as you can. If you're only here halfway through, you can only ask half the questions. It's still going to add to your score, so that's going to be absolutely fine. I guess it's going to run as far as I can get questions and actually build the quizzes to make them work. I really like the software. We trialed it, myself and Ash, a little while ago, but we only did it between ourselves, and it was a bit hit and miss because it was just us playing around with it. So I'll say this now as well. There's a few little stipulations I just want to make, and I'm making them up off the top of my head, so I hope I don't forget anything that I intended to say. But first, my decision on this is going to be final, basically on whatever I say. And if it's unfair, I apologise. If you are fans of ours and have been for some time, you know I aspire to try and be as fair of a person as I can. So I'm going to try and play this as straight as possible. But please don't cheat. Like, the prize is not good enough to make it worth cheating. Second of all, you'll get more points for quicker answers. So if you do end up cheating to look up your question, you'll actually get less points because you'll take longer to answer than people who just get on with it. So don't do that. If you end up getting maximum points or near maximum points on every question, you get everything right, I reserve the right to just disqualify you on the basis of just let someone who isn't doing that win. And it's not to incriminate or discriminate against someone who's doing that necessarily. It's more just to try and keep it a level playing field and keep it light. It's $10, so let's not do that. I reserve the right to kind of go, actually, you know what, after one, it hasn't really worked, and the feedback from you guys is bad, so we're not going to run a second one, in which case we don't give out the shirt. That is what it is. For Nemesis breaks. God, how can I not read? Nemesis breaks. This is for worldwide. As long as I can get a gift card to you in something that you can redeem, then I'll get that absolutely. But you can enter from anywhere. It's going to work, which is absolutely fine. Thank you to Big Airy subscribing at Tier 1 for your 29th month. That is awesome. Thank you, thank you, thank you. What else do I have? The link which is on YouTube, which is pinned, is the registration link. So please click on there. put your details in there, and then try and keep those details consistent for every time you register. As long as it's the same email address, I'll be able to see that it's you guys, hopefully, so that should be fine. But hopefully you can see the Detroit Lions Pub Quiz #1 title on your screen. I think you should be able to enter on your tablets, on your phones, on your computers. So whatever makes it easier for you guys should be fine. I will say there are some picture questions, and they render fine on your phone, but if it is a really small screen, that might not be great. So it's up to you how you do that. If anything else occurs to me, terms and conditions wise, I'll try and bring that up as I go, but hopefully that kind of gets together the ethos of what's going on here. Oh, one more thing. The Roar of the Lions guys have no access to the questions because I'm the one that set them, and only I have the login for the software that's being used. Therefore, and just to bolster numbers and make it a bit of fun for my guys as well, they are allowed to enter this. They will not have access to the software at any time. I am not going to reveal the questions to them at any time. If you know Ash, you know that he's he was described as Rain Man in Detroit by a couple of people, which is a bit harsh, but also like quite funny and not entirely inaccurate when it comes to like memory and stuff like that. So I'm actually going to put Ash's favourites for the damn thing. If he wins, it's not a fix. It's just he's very good at this, and it's annoying. I'm actually kind of praying that he doesn't win. Not because I don't want him to win, but just because then it won't look like a fix.
I've got to get my CJ Moore jersey somehow, boys.
Okay. So, it's 60 seconds a question. Thanks to Brett for the question. 60-second time limit per question. Because I'm broadcasting at the moment a viewer's angle, which means I am not going to answer any of the questions for which I'm signed up as a viewer, which means it's going to take 60 seconds per question, but it's only 20 questions, and it's 10 Lions questions and 10 NFL questions. So it's basically a trial run for us. That is what I'm planning for the second one as well, but if there's a bit more appetite for something a bit longer, then I can run that. If you want to do a few more different rounds that aren't necessarily Lions related or football related, let me know, because I'd love to know. And lastly, I just kind of hope that you all enjoy it. We've got 5 people on our Hearth Slides at the moment, which is the software, but we've got 17 people watching. One of them's me. We've got 16 people watching, which means that lots of you haven't logged into the software yet. So I'm going to put it back in the chat now, and I'll put it back on Twitch. So it's in Twitch. It's in the YouTube. Click that link. You should be prompted to a screen which just basically says name and email address. And I think that's basically it.
Yeah.
By doing that, I am going to then receive your name that you have put and your email address, but that is what I'm going to use to track the prize. So you have to be okay giving me that, otherwise I'm not going to be able to distinguish who is who. I'm not doing it to send you anything. I'm not processing your data for any sort of marketing purposes. You guys are already in the live chat. Why do I need to do that? That's not the point of what's going on here, but I just wanted to make you aware of that. Oh, the last thing. Getting the software wasn't free. I mean, it wasn't like really expensive, but it wasn't free. Entry is clearly free for all of you guys to do that. If you are enjoying this more than our normal shows, and you want to do a super chat or something like that by way of, say, a donation as a sort of entry fee sort of thing, that is very much welcomed for this, just so we can cover our costs. It is not necessary to do this. If no one does it, I don't care. But I just thought I'd put that out there because this is something that I want to try and see. Anyway, Ash, is there anything that occurs to you that I might want to say before we start this?
No, not really.
Okay.
You've covered all the bases. You even got the GDPR stuff down, which is good.
Okay, we've got 8 people in at the moment. We've got 15 excluding me watching the show on YouTube at the moment. And we've got another few on Twitch as well. So you need to get on in the software, people. So click the link, up to 10. Got a few people giving the thumbs up and a like in the software, which is great. Thank you. Good stuff. All right. I want to hang on a little bit more just for people to actually sign up. If someone hasn't actually got in yet, can you let me know in the live chat, because I don't want to start without you. And meanwhile, no one's asked about the shirt, but this is a Bath rugby shirt. And my guys got to the Rugby Union Premiership final for the English Premiership today. It's our second final since 1996. Our last one was in 2009, I want to say, but I'm not entirely sure. We lost. We had a man sent off after 20 minutes and played a man down for the 60 remaining minutes. And it was a heroic defeat. I went to the game last week for the semi-final, and it was a spectacular game. Rugby is a terrific sport, and if you like NFL, I know you kind of don't know what's going on, but it's an oval ball. You've got to get to a touchdown area and put the ball down to score points. You've got to kick balls through posts. Like, it's not that different. The physical nature of it is exceptional. Still at 10, and I'm hoping Grandizer. You're saying if there's one last spot, I'll get in. Otherwise, I'd like for those to get on. We've got a spot for 200 people. So do not be shy. Just get in. Get in. Oh, GA2 Skips was saying, how about USA Cricket, though? Did you watch the cricket?
Yeah. Well, like, very well done to you. But, like, I loved it, though. Obviously, the guy who scored the running runs was Aaron Jones. I was like, I know you had to take a bit of a pay dip to go to the Vikings from the Packers, but come on, there's got to be better ways to make it up, surely. But I'm proud of you guys. Like, I know obviously Liam Plunkett, an ex-England cricketer who's now nationalised to the US for his wife, is trying to do the whole like T20 league over there. I'm sad that there's not really one close to Michigan for you guys to watch, but this is what we want. And it always seems to be the way with us, isn't it? England invents a sport, introduces it to the world, becomes mediocre at it, and it's like,
we're defending champions. What are you saying?
Right now we are, but like football, like it always happens. It always happens. But I like it. I like the fact it's getting better. It's growing. It means if I ever do my PhD over there, at least I've got another sport to go and watch and feel at home with, rather than just have to just watch both kinds of football and be satisfied with that.
Many thanks to Carlton Wood for the £10 tip. $12.73 says, not subject to financial fair play rules. ... Ash. Burn. Oh man.
How have we got to sell people but Chelsea don't? I don't understand.
Mark said, I'm willing to look bad in this quiz. I never remember names and dates and title and all that stuff, but it's fun to guess. And Brett says, the only country to have won the FIFA World Cup, Rugby World Cup, Cricket World Cup, and Olympic gold. All right. I've left it long enough. We've got 12 in there, excluding me being the presenter. So I'm going to hit present. When you do, you then may have to reconfirm your name and email address. So just be alert for your page to redo itself then. So everyone be alert. I'm going to read out the question and the answers. The questions are not going to be simple multiple choice always, although most of them will be. Some of them will be picture questions. Some of them will be drag and drop to rank players in terms of various things. You will have to react to the questions as they come. So it will not be super straightforward. Okay. For anyone coming in, the link is above. You can join late. It won't hurt you. All right. If we're ready. 3, 2, 1. And I'm hoping now that, okay, I'm in present, which is good. And here we go. Says we've got 11 players ready. And we've got a chat as well. Cool. All right. First question coming up now. The Lions recently released their new black jerseys, a throwback from the Macmillan era. This isn't the first time the Lions have changed jersey colour. What colour did the Lions change jerseys to in 1948? Was it maize and blue, scarlet and white, navy blue and orange, or green with polka dots? Question number 1. The Lions recently released their new black jerseys, a throwback from the Macmillan era. This isn't the first time the Lions have changed jersey colour. What colour were the Lions jerseys in 1948? Were they maize and blue, scarlet and white, navy blue and orange, or green with polka dots? You have about 20 seconds left to answer. GA2 Skip on Twitch says you marry someone from South Africa and then you need to get into rugby and cricket. Yes, sir, and you will enjoy it. All right, time is about to expire, everybody. Good luck. The answer is scarlet and white. Congratulations to the 5 out of 10 of you that got that one right. Maize and blue, no, unfortunately, they didn't go the Michigan way. So here's the lovely shirt that they wore in 1948, and they wore it for 3 seasons, 48, 49, and 50. I think you can agree that Ohio State was not ripped off at all. But there we go. Fun one to start. Right. Is everyone ready for question number 2? Here we go. What year did the Lions move to Ford Field? Was it 2000, 2001, 2002, or 2003? This short one should be a bit easier than the first one. Question number 2. What year did the Lions move to Ford Field? And by move, I mean, what year did they play their first game in the stadium? I'm surely aware it was probably being built before this year, but what year did they play their first game? 2000, 2001, 2002, or 2003? I mean, if you know the year that the Lions hosted the Super Bowl, that might be a good indicator as to what season it was. Time is running out. 10 seconds to go. 3, 2, 1, and you're all done. And the answer was 2002. Pretty even spread of answers there. 4 went for 2003, 3 for 2001, and 1 went for 2000. Well done to the 3 of you that went for 2002. All right. Some people not liking that. If people are joining and they haven't yet joined, you can join on the YouTube link, which is in the pinned comment. And if you're joining late, it will still count. And if you're answering quickly, you can still win this. Believe me, not everyone's got the questions right so far. In fact, has anyone got both questions right so far? Of course you have, Ash. Oh no. Someone's got to beat him, please. You can't do this. God damn it, people. All right. The world against Ash. All right, question number 3 coming up. Oh, well, after this. The Lions last played at the Pontiac Silverdome January 6, 2002 against the Dallas Cowboys. All right. Number 3. Here we go. Rank the players in order of total yards from scrimmage in the 2023 regular season. Josh Reynolds, David Montgomery, Sam Laporta, Jahmyr Gibbs. Rank them from most yards at the top to least yards at the bottom, please. I'll say again, question number 3. Rank these players in order of total yards from scrimmage in the 2023 regular season. Sam Laporta, Josh Reynolds, Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery, highest at the top, lowest at the bottom. Running down on time now. Which one of those players got the most yards from scrimmage? May not be as straightforward as it seems. Mile Marker says, tricky. 2 or 1, and that's done. And the answer was... It's not coming up on the bloody thing. If I remember rightly, Jameer Gibbs, David Montgomery, Sam Laporta, Josh Reynolds was the correct answer. Yes. So Jameer Gibbs started off with a slow start. I was hoping some people thought that David would have had more yards. And because Sam had such a good season, thought that people might have had a higher opinion on that. I can see 4 got it right and 9 did not. So it's getting a lot of people this. I'm quite quietly pleased about this. Yeah!
It got me. The Gibbs got me. Gibbs got me.
Come on.
I had it in and I was like, you only play half season. I've got to move him down. I tricked myself.
Get in. All right. Brett asked for a live scoreboard. We're going to get one halfway through each round, and there are 2 rounds. After question 5, after question 10, and after question 15, before the final leaderboard after question 20. So we're 2 questions away. And we're coming up now to question number 4. There are your yardage from scrimmage. So Gibbs with 1261, Montgomery 1132, Sam Laporta 893, Josh Reynolds 608. So not at least 100 yards between all of them. So there we go. Grandizer said, I tried to write in Amon-Ra St. Brown, but I didn't ask about Amon-Ra St. Brown because that would have been too obvious. All right. Question number 4 is coming up right now. Question number 4. How many division championships have the Detroit Lions won? I've stressed the word division because you might know how many NFL titles they have. How many division championships have they won? Is it 5, 8, 10, or 13? We're going all the way back to 1930. How many division titles have the Detroit Lions won? Is it 5, 8, 10, or 13? Of course, the Lions last won the division championship. Oh, wait, that was this year. Let's go! Hey! It feels like a nice uplifting thing that we won this year, I have to say, just for this one question. 6 seconds to go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And unfortunately, this one is a self-burn because the answer is 5. I'm sorry, guys. I'm really sorry. 7 of you went for 8, 2 went for 10, 1 went for 13. Only 2 of you got 5. I'm assuming, Ash, you got that.
Yep.
Oh my god, right. The division titles. The NFL Western in 1935, the NFC Central in 83, 91, and 93, and the NFC North in 2023. 5, and we won 1 this year. It was 4 before then. Bearing in mind that we've won 4 NFL titles as well. 4? Oh, I don't know. That'll probably be a question in another quiz. Never mind. Anyway, we move. Question number 5 before our first leaderboard. Here we go. Number 5. Who scored the most points for the Lions in the 1998 season? Was it Johnny Morton, Herman Moore, Barry Sanders, or Jason Hanson? This is just such a fun question, because if you know, you know. And if you don't, you don't. This is a little specific. I apologize, but, you know. You saw Bye Bye Barry, and then you're like, oh, I want to know more about that era. That is not a hint for the answer to the question if you haven't answered yet. I don't want to steer you either way, but I got interested in this period of time. So, question number 5. Who scored the most points for the Detroit Lions in the 1998 season? Is it Johnny Morton, Herman Moore, Barry Sanders, or Jason Hanson? You've got 5 seconds to get in your answers. 4, 3, 2, 1. And your answer is Jason Hanson, well done, the 9 of you that got that. 1 vote each for Barry, Herman, and Johnny. In terms of the difference in points, pretty big, actually. And this is what happens with kickers. And the thing is, if you know, you know. So Hanson with 114 points, Herman Moore with 30. Actually, Barry only got 24. He was in third. And Johnny Morton only with 12. But there we go. Brett just said, never heard of him. Is he the kicker? Oh, Brett, I can tell you're not a Lions fan, my guy. He's the best kicker the Lions have had, but also, is he a Hall of Famer? If he's not, he should be. I don't think he is, actually. I don't think he is, but I think he should be. Anyway. All right. First leaderboard's coming up right now. I'm praying that it's not Ash. Please. Please, you guys.
He's probably not going to be. Remember, I tanked 3 and 4, didn't I?
Oh my god, it's the non-Lions fan in first! Brett Kerwin at the top of the leaderboard, but Ash is in second and lurking. Well done to Danny, bronze position at the moment. John Fisher doing quite well, 2 and 4th, and Austin Damon. Nemesis Breaks, Mark LeBay, Robert, Mile Marker, Carlton Wood, Tim, Grandizer, and then my dummy account, just so I can broadcast this to you, is at the bottom. Well done to everyone so far. You're doing well, and by no means is anyone out of sight at this point. All right. I'm just going to take a short drink. Hanson was money. Yes, he was. I wanted to honor my guy. All right. We're moving on with this for the second half of the Detroit Lions round 1 with question number 6. Ken is late. Just joined. Well done, sir. You can still win this with where everyone is right now. Ken, you need to answer your questions quickly. More points the faster you answer. So there we go. All right. Marmarker just said, but I just pulled a Detroit-style pizza out of the oven. Well, you, sir, you have already won. You have already won. So there we go. Right. Question number 6 is coming up right now. Which one of these players is DeAndre Levy? Is it player number 1? Player number 2? Player number 3 or player number 4? If you watched mine and Ash's interview on CBS News Detroit during the NFL draft, you know that I referenced this player as one of the reasons why I fell in love with the team. And so I had to pay homage.
Homage, yeah.
To this player in particular. 30 seconds left to answer. Which one of these players is DeAndre Levy? Also, if you're getting the awful music, I'm really sorry, because I'm getting it.
No, I'm fine. I don't have my sound on.
If you have your sound on, it's not awful, but it's not great. Right, 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2. Well, looks like everyone's answered anyway, which is great. How many of you got it right? 11 of you. Wow, 11 out of 14 is impressive. I like it. Beard. Well done.
It's the beard.
Well done. Question number 7. Who led the Lions in rushing in 2016 with 357 yards? Was it Joik Bell, Zach Zenner, Theo Riddick, or Dwayne Washington? I can tell you they were all on the team in 2016. That's why I picked them. Question number 7. Who led the Lions in rushing in 2016 with 357 yards? Was it Joik Bell, Zach Zenner, Theo Riddick, or Dwayne Washington? As opposed to the other players, Brent, I am going to struggle to tell you who those were now, because I picked them at random in that era and I can't remember. So,
what do you mean?
In the previous question, the pictures.
So top right was, I think that was Stephen Tulloch.
Yes.
I think bottom right would have been someone we're still familiar with. I think that was Shep. I think one of the bottom 2 was definitely Shep with the dreadlocks, and then I think the other one might have been the guy that we signed back from the Panthers a couple of years ago. Because he used to play for us. It might have been Julian Stanford.
doesn't ring a bell for someone that I picked, but there we go.
Okay.
All right, the right answer was Theo Reddick. I won't blame any of you for having gone with any of the others, because I think apart from... I don't know whether Zenna or Washington did, actually. Joy Bell obviously definitely led us in rushing one year, but Theo Reddick, 357 yards, obviously not known for his rushing. So the fact that he led the team there was pretty outstanding. Wow. I've gone back. No, what have I done there? Sorry. I might be replaying the previous question. Whoops. I thought it was going to tell me how many yards we had for that. Right. I've got the timer playing for the previous question again, so that's fine because everyone's answered. So I'm going to research exactly what it was. 2016 Lions rushing yards. Okay. The answer to that question is 357 for Riddick, 265 for Washington, 334 for Zenna, and Joyke Bell did not have a rush in the year. He was on the team, but I think that was his injury year, unfortunately, and then he left the league. So there we go. Right, now we've got that out of the way. I can skip this one, and we're on to question number 8. Rank the Lions quarterbacks with the most single-season passing yards in the regular season. This is a one-season question. For these players, what's their most yards they've ever got in a season for the Lions? And then rank them in that order. Jared Goff, Matthew Stafford, John Kitna, Scott Mitchell. Of these players' best seasons for the Lions in passing yards, which ones were highest? Goff, Stafford, Kitna, Mitchell. Rank them from highest to lowest. In terms of receiving yards for Theo Riddick in that season, he got 371, which meant he had 728 total from scrimmage. Ken Button said bottom was Delmas, and that is correct.
Oh, yeah, Delmas, yeah. Makes sense.
5 seconds coming. Got to get your answers in. There's one of you who hasn't answered. Got to get it in. Oh, no. One of you missed it. The answer is, I think, Matthew Stafford, followed by Jared Goff and Scott Mitchell, and finally John Kitna, and hopefully I've made a slide saying what they all were. There we go. So the best year for Matthew Stafford was in 2011 with 5,038 yards. Jared Goff, this most recent season, 4,575. Scott Mitchell in 1995 had 4,338. And John Kitna, 4,208 in 2006. And I mean, my Lions history is so poor. If you asked me to say who was the more recent quarterback between Mitchell and Kitna, I probably wouldn't have been able to tell you before researching this. I'm sorry, Ash.
You've watched Bye Bye Barry. You couldn't tell me that. So Kitna was 2000.
Yeah, but I wouldn't have known whether Kitna was before or after that era because I just don't. I'm not aware of him. Like he just, I think, very, very like in a sort of merciful way, he kind of passed me by. So there we go.
Fair. I mean, I love how we've got all this list of 4,000-yard passes, and the Bears still don't have one in their franchise history.
I know. I mean, I'm not saying that we're burning the Bears with this question, but it was in the back of my mind at that time. Right. We got 2 more Lions questions, and then we're going on to the NFL round, and now we're going on to question number 9. How many quarterbacks are currently inducted into the Pride of the Lions? 1, 2, 3, or 4. This is not the Hall of Fame. This is the Lions' own Ring of Honor. The Pride of the Lions. Question number 9. How many quarterbacks are currently inducted into the Pride of the Lions? Them playing one game at quarterback doesn't qualify them as a quarterback. Primary position, or if they split time between positions legitimately, that will also count. How many quarterbacks are currently inducted into the Pride of the Lions? 1, 2, 3, or 4. I do not think the Pride of the Lions is actually a long institution, by the way. Not that they haven't inducted plenty of people, but I don't think it was before the 2010s that it started, if I'm honest. We've got 5 seconds to go. 3, 2, 1. The answer is 2. 3 of you went for 1. 3 of you went for 3. 2 of you went for 4. But well done to the 5 of you who went for number 2. Dutch Clark, who played for the Lions between 31-32 and 34-38. And Bobby Lane from 50 to 58. No other Lion at the quarterback position has made it in as yet. All right, are you ready for the final Lions question? And then we'll move on to general NFL stuff. Here is question number 10. How many different home stadiums have the franchise now known as the Detroit Lions had? This includes the Portsmouth Spartans, who were the original organization between 1930 and 1934. How many different home stadiums have the Lions had, including that proviso? 3, 4, 5, or 6? How many different home stadiums have the Detroit Lions had, including the Portsmouth Spartans? 3, 4, 5, or 6? This does not include, and this will be a little bit of a tip-off, them leaving and returning to a stadium. That counts as 1 because there's only 1 different stadium. Thanks, Brett. Appreciate that. So, great set of questions. I'm here for it. Right, you've got 4 seconds to go. I think everyone's in. 3, 2, 1. And the answer is 5. 5 home stadiums. 7 of you went for 4, 1 for 3, 2 for 6. Well done to the 4 of you who went for 5. Those stadiums were the Universal Stadium when they were the Portsmouth Spartans, 30-33. They moved to the University of Detroit Stadium for 34-37, and in 1940. They're in the Tiger Stadium in the intermittent period between the University of Detroit Stadium period and then after as well, from 41-74. Pontiac Silverdome, 75 to 2001. Probably should say 2002, being as though I just showed you a graphic saying that they played in January 2002. But there we go. And finally, Ford Field most recently. Of course, how long for? Who knows? I mean, it's one of the oldest stadiums in the league. Yeah. And, you know, they want a Super Bowl. So maybe this will increase to 6 in the not too distant future. Big Airy says Kittner was hurt in 08, would have got 1 win with him in. Of course. I forgot that he was the incumbent quarterback in that season. Anyway, all right. Leaderboard at the end of the Detroit Lions round. Oh, no! Oh, no! It can't be happening. Ash tops the leaderboard, 635 points, leapfrogging our friend from Discord, Brent Kerwood, 595 points. But that's only a 40-point gap. You can reel him in. Danny's doing very, very well, still in 3rd place. Mark LeBay has had a huge round. He's got 2nd in points in that set of 5 questions to get himself up to 4th. John's in 5th, Austin in 6th, Nemesis Breaks in 7, Robert in 8, Tim in 9, Carlton in 10, Grandizer in 11, Mile Marker in 12, Ken in 13, Ken in 14. All right, people, you're all doing well. And don't forget, we started with Detroit, but we're going to move on to the NFL now. And it's all to play for, because what happens if Ash has an absolute mare? He won't. But what happens if he does have a mare in this next round and you guys absolutely smash it? Thank you to MileMarker301 for the $10 super chat saying, great quiz, I'm doing terrible, ha. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate that very, very much. There is merit in joining late. If we do end up doing plenty of shows and we do end up giving a Detroit Lions jersey as a giveaway, all of these points are going to count. So you're not just playing for this show, you're playing for the entire quiz series. So even if you're watching and you're not taking part, click on the link, get involved, and you'll become a part of the thing throughout the next few months. We are going to move on to round number 2, final round, which is NFL knowledge. And we're going to start with question 11. Coming up now. Oh, sorry, Brett. My bad. Matthew is Brett, not Brent. Sorry, misread. Oh, man. Who was the winner of the first NFL championship or equivalent event? So, to specify this was not a championship game. This was the winner of the first trophy for the first NFL season. Was it the Green Bay Packers, the Chicago Cardinals, the Canton Bulldogs, or the Akron Pros? They are all teams who took part in that first, what was recognized as at the NFL season. Well, was it recognized as the NFL season? When I say equivalent, it wasn't called the NFL Championship at the time, but it is recognized as a league year.
Or I might have got it wrong.
We're not talking Lombardi either here, Nemesis Breaks. It wasn't the Lombardi.
I might have got it wrong then.
5 seconds to go. And the answer is the Akron Pros. Green Bay Packers got 6, Chicago Cardinals got 3. No votes for the Canton Bulldogs, but Akron Pros took it 5 if you got it, which is very impressive. And here's what happened. And I tell you that what this ruling is bullshit. And if you have a look at this, you will go, I do not understand why they were given the championship, but they were. The Akron Pros went 8 wins, 0 losses, 3 ties in 1920, winning what was called the American Professional Football Association Championship, because the Dakota Staleys lost 1 game despite winning 2 more. The ties did not count. Win-loss percentage is the only thing that counted, and because the Akron Pros went lossless, they were awarded the championship, which I don't understand. And I've got Grandizer asking who the Akron Pros became. The Akron Pros were a professional football team that played between 1908 and 1926. They were a charter member of the American Professional Football Association. And I don't see what happened there. They actually have a Hall of Famer as well. That would be a great quiz question. Who's the Hall of Famer who played for the Akron Pros? Oh, man. I don't see anything about them until after then. So they declined suspended operations because of money and formally surrendered its franchise in 1927. So they didn't become anything, unfortunately. So that's a great quiz question for you guys. Danny Gaming 79 says, how come they played 2 less games? I think it was just the fact that these guys weren't professionals at the time. I don't think they were, and so they had jobs and it's scheduling and whatever. It's just one of those things. But there we go. All right. We're moving on to question number 12. It's not the easiest quiz, but then not any of you are going to get a lot of these right. Maybe. Let's see. I think I've made them varying in difficulty. They're not all going to be that hard. Question number 12. Nemesis Break says this is like studying an ancient language. I mean, Ash is a classics major, so there we go. Question number 12. List the following in terms of career rushing yards. Walter Payton, Adrian Peterson, Frank Gore, Emmitt Smith, Barry Sanders. If you ever look at stats, this should be one of the first you look at, especially as a Lions fan with Barry on there. But do you know the answer? List these in terms of career rushing yards. Highest at the top, lowest at the bottom. Payton, Peterson, Gore, Smith, and Sanders. It's funky music. If you don't have it in your earphones, then I can only apologise. 10 seconds left for this one. Got 2 of you still to answer. Got to get it in. 3, 2, 1. You guys getting in there very, very late. It's quicker answers that get the most points, so you got to get them in there. Emmitt Smith was number 1, Walter Payton number 2, Frank Gore number 3, Barry Sanders number 4, Adrian Peterson number 5. Grandizer says Eric Dickerson too, absolutely, but it wasn't rank the highest career rushers, it was rank these rushers. And sometimes I'm going to try and trip you up with a name that isn't in the top 5, but, you know, is a recognisable name that people think did really well or didn't or what have you. So, Adrian Peterson, for example, hopefully I've got the odds coming up here, is a little bit further away than some of the others. But I mean, Emmett Smith is so far away and above everyone else, it's absolutely crazy. I have respect for the fact that Frank just decided that at 60,000 dead that he was done there. Excellent. Yeah, and Gore's just a testament to what longevity does, right? It's fantastic. There we go. NFL career rushing leaders. Brett, I'm going to check. Yes, you're right. Dickerson is 9. So the leaders in career rushing, actually, that was the top 5. Number 6 is someone I'm not aware of at all, which is Curtis Martin.
The former Jets running back.
7 is LT. 8's Bettis. 9's Dickerson. 10 is Tony Dorset. 11's Jim Brown. Like, such a legendary name, but yeah. All right. We're on to the next one. Question number 13. Which NFL stadium has the largest capacity in the NFL? Max capacity as listed on Wikipedia. Is it MetLife, AT&T, Arrowhead, or Lambeau Field? Get those answers in quickly. More points for earlier answers. Which NFL stadium has a larger capacity? MetLife, AT&T, Arrowhead, or Lambeau? Ken Button's been doing his research. He said, I saw this just yesterday. And then he says, I hope I can remember it. They all are famously big stadiums in the NFL. None of them are particularly small. I think in terms of visually impressive, I think probably Arrowhead or Lambeau for me in terms of just visually having a look at them and going like, wow, that's special. Maybe Jerry World as well. MetLife is a falling down old relic at this point, but there we go. 1 second left, and here we go. The answer is MetLife. MetLife is the biggest. 7 of you got it too. Well done, everybody. MetLife with 82,500, Lambeau 81,441, because why can't you just make it a round number, you fools? AT&T 80,000 and Arrowhead 76,416. Danny Gaming just said Anfield. Love it. I mean, unfortunately, Anfield's only at about 60,000-ish at the moment, but there we go. Brett just said, I went to Jerry World, and let me tell you, it's stonking. I really want to go to the Viking Stadium just because of how well regarded it has been. Yeah. It's
US Bank, yeah.
Grandis asked who plays in MetLife. That would be the Giants and the Jets. Giants and Jets both play in MetLife in East Rutherford, New Jersey. All right. Question number 14. Number 14. Rank these players in terms of career interceptions. Sorry, everybody. Night Train Lane, Dick Night Train Lane, Ed Reed, Charles Woodson, Deion Sanders. I didn't ask you to do 5 for this one, only 4. I was kind. These aren't the top 4. These are just 4 very recognizable names when it comes to career interceptions. So some of you are going to be burned by this answer. I feel pretty sure about this. Night Train Lane, Ed Reed, Charles Woodson, Deion Sanders. Rank these players highest to lowest in terms of career interceptions. Ash, if you get this, I'll be pissed. Now you've said that. I'm sorry that I'm rooting against you, but you know what.
It's fine. I know. At least this time with the quiz, I'm not getting absolutely blackout drunk, eh?
That was so rough. Oh man, when we were in at the draft, I mean, it was bad, guys. We got pretty smashed. All right, here we go.
Yeah, I got none of them. Fuck.
Night Train Lane in number 1, Charles Woodson number 2, Ed Reed number 3, and Deion Sanders number 4. And here, hopefully, I have a slide saying exactly what they were. Night Train Lane had 68. He's 4th overall. Charles Woodson came in joint 5th with 65. Ed Reed one less in 7th. And Dion Sanders with only 53, joint 24th overall. He may talk a good game, but he had 15 less than Night Train Lane. And our boy, there we go. If you want to know the interception leaders, one of the reasons why I actually avoided some of the people is because I wasn't sure how well they were known. In terms of, at least for me, I wouldn't know. When I'm looking at career passes intercepted, I actually got the quarterbacks, obviously, and Brett Favre, number 1, made me laugh. Anyway, of course it was Brett Favre. Where is it? Interceptions. Anyone want to have a go at what number 1 is in interceptions? In fact, someone put it already in the chat. Well done, Brett. Brett, you got it. Paul Krause. Played 64 to 79. He had 81 interceptions. So Rod Woodson was actually number 3. Emlyn Tunnell, who played from 48 to 61, was number 2. Also had Ken Riley in joint 5th with Charles Woodson. Also had in the top 10 Ronnie Lott, who I think everyone's aware of. Darren Sharper, who I'm not aware of, but he played until 2010, so I probably should be aware of him, but I'm just not. And Dave Brown and Dick LeBeau in the top 10. So there we go. All right. Moving on to the last in this half of the final round. Question number 15. What is the record number of safeties for an entire NFL career? Is it 2, 4, 6, or 8? What is the highest number of safeties a single player has ever recorded in their career? Is it 2, 4, 6, or 8? This stands for itself, I think, but there we go. Lisa said Darren Sharper is in jail. I apologise for mentioning his name. If you're just joining for the first time in this quiz, and you haven't actually logged in or decided that you're going to send some answers in, it's going to form part of a quiz series that we're doing, assuming that this all goes well. I'd really love some feedback as well about what you think about the quiz so far, because this is going to decide whether we're going to do any more of these. But if we do some more, there will be a Lions jersey to give away, or if you're a fan of another team, we'll do a jersey of your choice. But last 5 questions coming up just after this one. Do register. Use the same username and email address, and it will add to all of your answers from subsequent quizzes. The answer is 4. No player has more than 4 safeties for their entire career.
And I think I can name one of them that has that record.
Go on then.
Jared Allen.
Well, there you go. Also, the only active player still is Justin Houston. He has a chance to break that record. So cool. Ted Hendricks and Doug English as well. Gun Guy said Hutch already has one. I do wonder whether Hutch is going to be credited with that safety, because technically the offensive lineman kicked it out the end zone. He didn't actually make the tackle. He was the player nearest the play on the defensive side of the ball. But will that count? I don't know. All right. Let's have a look at the scoreboard with 5 questions to go in this first quiz. We got a new leader! Brett retains the lead with the slimmest of margins, but I tell you what, Danny is catching up. There's now only 50 points between the top 3. Mark retains in 4th, Austin retains in 5th. But then it's getting very tight down in this second half of the table with John. Nemesis breaks. Really great round for Ken with 175 points, doubling his tally. Mile Marker doing very well as well, 160 points in there too. Welcome everyone to the quiz if you're just doing this for the first time. Like I said, all your points are going to count for the next 2 months. So if you haven't joined yet, still continue to join. It is all to play for at the top. Brett, Ash and Danny. In fact, if you are within 500 points, you technically still have a chance. So John, Nemesis breaks. I mean, you're going to have to answer pretty bloody quickly to have a chance here. But if you do, maybe you get there, but do you want to risk it for the $10 for the gift card this time? Or do you want to get as many points as you can for the entire series? It's up to you. I don't know. Ash and Danny, got to get this done here because Brett is going to take the winnings. All right, question number 16. What is the name given to the trophy given to the champions of the NFC? I have not worded that in the best way. I had to think about that for a minute. Question number 16. What's the name given to the trophy given to the champions of the NFC? Is it the Ed Thorpe Trophy, the Lamar Hunt Trophy, the Walter Payton Trophy, or the George Halas Trophy? These are all legitimate trophies. I mean, maybe one of them is called something slightly different and I'm just putting it in there to confuse people, but, you know, there we go. For question number 16, halfway through this question, what is the name given to the trophy given to the champions of the NFC? Is it the Ed Thorpe Trophy, Lamar Hunt Trophy, Walter Payton Trophy, or the George Halas Trophy? Grandizer says it's the Ash Snowden Trophy. That is incorrect. Three, two, one. Here we go. The answer is the George Halas Trophy. Well done to the 9 of you who went with that one. All right. I don't think I'll have a stat for this one because I don't know what I would have said, to be honest.
What the trophies are for, I guess. That you're a tricky little man by calling the Walter Payton Trophy a trophy.
Yeah, when it's just...
When it's a Man of the Year award.
Well, I mean, there is a trophy awarded, is there not?
There might be, I don't know.
I don't know. There we go. I believe that the Lamar Hunt Trophy is the AFC Trophy.
It is, yeah.
The Lamar Hunt Trophy is that. Then the Ed Thorpe Trophy... Ed Thorpe Memorial Trophy is given to the champions of the NFL 34 through 67. So it was the name of the championship trophy that preceded the Lombardi. And then the Walter Payton Man of the Year, hopefully everyone's aware of. Oh, Brett just said the Walter Payton Award is the FCS Heisman equivalent.
Oh, yeah. It is.
Thank you! Thank you very much, Ash. How about it? Tell me about the Walter Payton Man of the Year award when there's a trophy too. All right, I should have asked what is the Walter Payton Trophy awarded for, and then we would have seen. All right, question number 17. Pick the picture of the man who has made the most field goals in NFL history. Which of these four, and shall I say legendary kickers? I mean, there's 3 legendary kickers in there, and one's someone who can only hit the crossbar in Ford Field. Was it Ford Field? No, it was at Lambeau, wasn't it? Where was it?
No, it was Ford Field.
It was Ford
Field, the Ghost. No, he'd make a good YouTube, but then if he's good at hitting the crossbar.
Do you recognise your kickers? I'm not giving you their names. I hope you know who these players are. I mean, they are being presented in the jerseys of the teams they represented the most, of course. So hopefully this is all pretty easy for people. There's still 4 of you yet to answer. Pick the picture of the man who's made the most field goals in NFL history. 10 seconds to go. Yes, apologies for the pictures being a little small with with 3 of those 4. The answer, of course, is Adam Vinatieri with 599. Now, the other 3 weren't the top 4, but they were recognisable people I wanted to put in. Hansen was second of that list, 4th overall with 495. Robbie Gould with 447. And Mason Crosby, I presume his career is now done. He has 400 and it's 13th overall, which is higher than I thought for him, actually. All right, next question. Question number 18. Brett, I'll answer that in a minute. List these in order of the most recent Super Bowl win. San Francisco 49ers, Denver Broncos, Green Bay Packers, New York Giants. Who had their most recent Super Bowl win should go top. The furthest away from now should go at the bottom. List these in order of their most recent Super Bowl win. San Francisco 49ers, Denver Broncos, Green Bay Packers, New York Giants. Ken, I had to stick Hansen in there. I mean, I can't respect myself in the morning if I don't get Hansen in that question. Field goals made. Morton Anderson was second, Brett. Well done. Good shout. Can you get number 3 as well, though? We've got 13 seconds left to answer this. List these in orders of the most recent Super Bowl win. Most recent first. Furthest away last. 5 seconds left. 3, 2, 1. And here's your answer. The Denver Broncos were the most recent, followed by the New York Giants, the Green Bay Packers, and the San Francisco 49ers. The Broncos' most recent was in Super Bowl 50 and 15-16. The Giants in 11-12 in Super Bowl 46. The Packers in 10-11 in Super Bowl 45. And the San Francisco 49ers, despite being one of the more dominant NFC teams in this era. And, I mean, recently generally, right? In the last 30 years, they've been a pretty good team. And yet they haven't won in that stretch of time, which is shocking to me. 94-95, their last one. Mark said, I guessed in exactly the opposite order. Oh, man.
I had first and fourth right, and I had the Giants and Packers just the wrong way around.
Brett says Jan Stenerud for the field goal question. Jan is not in the... Oh, he is 20th. So no, third was Gary Anderson.
Oh, yeah.
Played for 5 different teams. I will say that Jason Hansen is the only single team kicker in the top 14. With 15 being Justin Tucker. All right, we've got 2 more questions left, I think. So here comes number 19. Who is the only coach to win both a NCAAF National Championship and a Super Bowl? Number 19, who is the only coach to win both an NCAAF National Championship and a Super Bowl? Is it Bill Belichick, Jimmy Johnson, Pete Carroll, or Barry Switzer? Going to test your knowledge of both the NFL and college football, but because it's a Super Bowl, I'm claiming it as NFL knowledge. Of course, I'll say of course, I'm not actually sure that all of these coaches coach at the college level. This is as far back as my knowledge goes. I've actually lifted this question from a quiz book, so apologies. Almost everything I did for this otherwise was home research, but this one, there we go. Almost everyone's answered. We've got 1 more to go. 12 seconds left. Belichick, Johnson, Carroll, Switzer. Who is the only coach to win a college football championship and a Super Bowl? 3 seconds to go. 2, 1. Pete Carroll is the answer. Well done to the majority of you. 8 out of the 13 respondents got that right. Oh, yeah. Bloody Pete Carroll. Last question. Coming up right now. Which quarterback has the highest passer rating of all time in the NFL, I should stipulate? Is it Drew Brees, Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady, or Aaron Rodgers? Which one of these legendary quarterbacks has the highest passer rating for their NFL career? Is it Brees, Mahomes, Brady, or Rodgers? Brett says USC in 2004, and of course the Seahawks.
Yeah.
Ash has a crying face for this. I wonder. I wonder why. All right, I think everyone's answered, but I'm going to let the clock expire here in just a moment. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. Those of you saying I hated answering this question. Well, some of it was a burn on other teams, and some of it, unfortunately, is just true, and I wanted to see how much you were willing to hate yourself to get the question right, because the answer has concluded, and the answer is Aaron Rodgers. Of course it is. 6 of you went for him, 5 went for Brees, obviously a very accurate quarterback, and you would be forgiven for thinking it was him. Rodgers is 0.1 higher than Mahomes. 103.6. Mahomes 103.5. Breeze, I think his shaky start to his career didn't help.
But yeah, I was about to say, yeah, him in San Diego was not good.
So they are, of course, 1 and 2, Rodgers and Mahomes. Breeze 6th, and Brady is 11th, 97.2. So there we go. Let's find out who is our winner of this first quiz. Brett is our winner! Well done to Brett. 13.22. That's an exceptional performance. Actually pulled away in that final question. Ash, well done to you. 2nd place. Danny in 3rd. I mean, quite a distance ahead of the rest, actually, as well. Well done to Ken, who I think joined late and came in 4th. That's a stonking performance, Ken. Well done. Austin and Mark were consistent all the way through, and Nemesis breaks. You guys, these points, they're all going to filter through to the subsequent quizzes. So I hope that you enjoyed it. Please get the feedback in, because I'd love to know how you thought that went. Brett, I'll be in contact with you via email about exactly what we'll do with your prize. Guys, I hope you enjoyed that. We are going to, I think, get off the air now pretty swiftly. Just want to talk about what's going to happen on Monday. So we are, I'm hoping, going to get our round table over the line. I think I've confirmed 1 person. I think I should have 2. I'm hoping that I'll get a Minnesota guy as well. We shall see, but, you know. Oh, no, sorry, not Minnesota. We'll have that. I hope we'll have a Green Bay guy, because the guy we usually have is ill, unfortunately, so we'll see. But yeah, roundtable's coming. The college podcast is back on Tuesday. So CUSA, if you're interested in college football, CUSA is coming back Tuesday the 11th. So please do tune in for that. Ant has put in a huge amount of work for this. So really, really good for that. I think our next quiz will be in 2 weeks' time if we run this again. Danny's saying, can we do soccer next time? I mean, I only know Liverpool. I'm sure that would suit you fine. But, you know, there we go. Ash, you're not setting the quiz questions. I can't let you do it now. So there we go. Big Aries says 3 out of 4. You listed 1 both. Oh, no. Really? That was a quiz. I got that from a quiz book. Did they really? Oh, no.
That's what I confused. I was, because I knew Pete definitely had, so I was overthinking it. So Jimmy Johnson.
Oh, yeah, Jimmy Johnson did do it. Okay, all right, well, I just suck, you guys, so I shouldn't trust quiz books and I should do my own research. He won the College National Championship as a player coach. I reckon that it is a modern form of the College Championship.
Yeah, because I was going to say, because Switzer won from 3 natties with Oklahoma, and then led the Cowboys to Super Bowl 30 over the Steelers.
Well,
it's literally on Barry Spitzer's Wikipedia page. He's the second of only 3 head coaches to win both the College National Football Championship and the Super Bowl. He's obviously like his Cowboys predecessor Jimmy Johnson and Pete Carroll.
Okay, I have 2 quiz books here, and one of them is Detroit Lions related, one of them is NFL related. I am not trusting them anymore. I'm going to do my own bloody research.
Burn them.
I'm going to burn them. Apologies all. Brett says BCS era, then CFP. So, apologies for that one question. If you have the answer in the book, that's going to stand. I can't do anything about it. The points are what they are at this point. I'm not going to rule the question void. Cheers to Mark for the super chat saying cheers for $10. Appreciate you very much. Quiz back maybe in 2 weeks. What did you guys think about the length of the quiz? Did you think it was a good length? Because I don't want it to be like a really long thing. So Mile Marker said, use their questions but find your answers, lol. Yeah, that's probably the way to do it. Sometimes the inspiration for actually finding the questions is harder than finding the answers, because the research is fine, but it's trying to think what an interesting question might be. But yeah, 20 questions, 10 on length, 10 on lines, 10 on NFL. I thought that was fine. Austin says, it was good, I enjoyed. Thank you. Mile Marker said, good length. Great. I'm happy. Kevin Button says, ask ChatGPT, give me questions about the 1994 lines and you'll love it. So actually, Ken, 2 years ago, I did a Lions quiz for the Roar of the Lions guys using ChatGPT, and I would say about 20% of the answers were wrong, like completely made up. So they can come up with the questions, but they can't necessarily come up with the answers, unfortunately. But there we go. Cool. Looks like this went well, so I'm very happy. Hope you'll join us for our roundtable on Monday. We'll obviously break down after the roundtable all of the news and what's happened with the OTAs and the fact that we haven't had OTAs go ahead for our last OTA day and that sort of thing. So we'll recap that. College football 2 on Tuesday, and hope you have the great rest of your weekend, guys. But well done, everyone, for the quiz. We'll see you soon. Bye for now. Cheers.